Good evening, Dr. Romeo Dandan. Good evening, classmates. Tonight, I will be presenting on the topic Curriculum Planning and Design, the Teacher's Perspective. This presentation seeks to explore the fundamental components of curriculum work in the Philippines, the alignment of instruction with national standards, and the evolving and essential roles that we teachers play, not just as facilitators, but as designers and change makers in education. So before that, let's have a game. So how many can you solve? So what is structured learning? Any guess? Oh, please type your answer in the chat box. So structured learning is also known as curriculum. Okay, another one. What is intentional preparation? What is the other term for intentional preparation? So please chat your answer in the chat box. So intentional preparation is also called planning. So what is creative execution? So please chat your answer in the chat box. So creative execution is also known as design. So our topic is curriculum planning and design, the teacher's perspective. This presentation is organized into three major subtopics. First is elements of curriculum planning in the Philippine context. Second, aligning instruction with national learning standards. Third is teachers as key stakeholders in curriculum development. Each section will highlight both policy and practice, emphasizing our pivotal role in shaping curriculum experiences. So elements of curriculum planning in the Philippine context. Curriculum planning in the Philippines reflects national priorities and local realities. It is shaped by legal frameworks, pedagogical trends, and the unique characteristics of Filipino learners. Teachers serve as the link between what is designed at the national level and what is actually delivered in the classroom. So example, curriculum planning may include modules on digital literacy, while locally, integration of indigenous knowledge may take center stage. So what are the key elements? So let's take a closer look at the major elements that form the foundation of curriculum design in the Philippine education system. The Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013, Republic Act 10533, and DepEd-CHED guidelines provide the legal backbone of our curriculum. They promote the K-12 structure, 21st century skills, and global competitiveness while retaining Filipino values. Example, the senior high school program was introduced under this law, allowing students to choose between tracks like STEM, UMS, and TVL to prepare them for college or employment. At present, there is an ongoing revision of senior high school curriculum. There will be only two tracks, academic track and technical vocational track. So what is learner-centered approach? This approach places the student at the heart of the learning process. It focuses on individual strengths, learning styles, and socio-emotional needs. It also promotes inclusivity and differentiated instruction. Example, a teacher might allow students to choose between writing a poem, creating a video, or conducting an interview, all while meeting the same learning objective. Contextualization and localization. So these two strategies bring relevance to learning. Context Contextualization adapts lesson to the learner's environment and experiences. Localization uses language, culture, and community realities to ground learning in the Filipino context. Example, Instead of using an international text to teach heroism, a teacher might use the life of local heroes like Lapu-Lapu or Leon Kilan. Competency-based learning. A competency-based curriculum emphasizes mastery of skills over time spent in class. It promotes functional learning. Students must be able to apply knowledge in real-life situations. Example, in an English class, rather than just writing essays, students create job applications and conduct mock interviews to demonstrate communication competency. Assessment and evaluation. Effective curriculum planning includes regular evaluation through both formative and summative assessments. These assessments guide instruction, measure learning, and identify areas for improvement. For example, formative using exit slips after a lesson to check understanding. Formative, a unit test or final project evaluating the mastery of concepts. Aligning instruction with national learning standards. Alignment ensures coherence between what is expected and what is taught. Teachers must use most essential learning competencies, MELC, and outcome-based education, OBE, as their compass. Example, a grade 10 teacher ensures that her lesson on the Pythagorean theorem meets the MELC for solving problems involving right triangles. So let's explore practical strategies for achieving alignment, starting with understanding the curriculum and designing around intended outcomes. Understanding curriculum guides and learning competencies. Teachers must study and internalize the most essential learning competencies, MELC, and CHED's outcome-based education policies. These documents are our primary reference in lesson planning. Example, in a TLE course, a teacher checks the MELC to see if students are expected to operate kitchen tools safely and effectively before drafting a cooking module. So what is backward curriculum mapping? This method starts with the end goals, then plan instruction and assessment backward from those goals. Example, if the final goal is to present a business pitch, earlier lessons are built around branding, budgeting, and marketing, all leading up to the final product. So let's now come to use of differentiated instruction. This approach allows teachers to adjust content, process, or product based on learners' needs and preferences. Example, in a class on environmental sustainability, students can either make a documentary, write an essay, or build a prototype solution, depending on their skills. Another is integration of performance-based assessment. These assessments move beyond traditional tests. Students engage in tasks that mimic real-life scenarios or require application of knowledge. Example, instead of multiple choice exam in Filipino, students write and perform a spoken word poem addressing a social issue. So let's now go to continuous professional development. Curriculum planning demands continuous growth. Teachers should regularly update their knowledge and reflect on practice. Example, joining action research on digital learning tools can help teachers refine strategies for hybrid or remote classrooms. Teachers as key stakeholders in curriculum development. Teachers are central to curriculum success. We know the learners, the classroom challenges, and the realities of implementation. Example, a teacher's feedback on ineffective modules during a school-based training leads to revised materials to the next school year. Roles of teachers in curriculum development. Teachers function as implementers, evaluators, designers, advocates, and agents of change. Let's now break these roles down. Curriculum implementers. We translate national goals into day-to-day instruction, ensuring learning outcomes are achieved. Example, a PE teacher interprets demonstrate physical fitness by creating a fitness lab, weekly challenges, and peer-led warm-ups. Teacher as curriculum evaluators. We gather evidence of learning and use this to improve on our own instruction and give feedback to the school system. Example, after finding that students struggle with a math module, a teacher suggests modifying it with more visual aids and examples. Teachers as curriculum designers. We design learning materials that respond to the learner's needs, interests, and abilities. Example, a teacher develops an interactive workbook on Philippine folklore for grade 4 students using local stories and community interviews. Teachers as advocates for curriculum improvement. We push for reforms by conducting research, participating in curriculum review, or mentoring peers. Example, a teacher leads to a webinar series on integrating media literacy into Araling Panlipunan, citing its importance in combating misinformation. Teachers as agents of change. As education evolves, we introduce innovations, advocate equity, and champion lifelong learning. Example, a teacher introduced Google Classroom, Zoom, Canvas to students from low-income backgrounds showing how digital access promotes equity. So we now go to the conclusion. To conclude, teachers are not just curriculum users. We are creators, evaluators, innovators, and leaders. We prepare with purpose, teach with passion, and reflect with intent. Think of a teacher as an architect. We don't just follow the blueprint. We adjust the design for weather, terrain, and materials. In the same way, we adapt curriculum to learners, contexts, and futures yet to be built. So these are the references that guided today's discussion. I encourage you to read more of them, especially if you wish to deepen your understanding of curriculum theories and application. So the great aim of education is not knowledge but action by Herbert Spencer. Thank you and good evening.